students, a very big and warm welcome to all of you. I hope you all are doing great. So children, before starting the session, let me introduce myself to you. This is Pooja Rawat and today I am going to teach you an interesting subject which is computer. So tell me children, what do you mean by computer? What is computer and how computer work? Why computer is so important for us? So we are going to find out about this in our very first chapter. So let's start the chapter. Evolution of computer. Let's see how computers were invented. So let's see about the history of computers. So tech goals of this chapter are stepwise learning approach, know about the history of computers, compare the generations of computers, know about the latest developments related to technology, understand the characteristics of computers. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in this chapter. So let's begin with introduction. Imagine a world with no computers, hard to believe, right? But no, not so long ago the world was without computers. Let's travel back in time to discover how computers were invented. So in this chapter we are going to learn how computers were created by the inventors. Early calculating device. Long before modern computers, people used special tools to solve math problems. As we have discussed earlier, long ago people used some devices to calculate or do some particular sums. Abacus. The abacus is an ancient counting tool with beads that help people add and subtract numbers. So abacus was the first calculating device which was containing beads like this. Pascal's adding machine. This was one of the first mechanical calculators invented by Blaise Pascal in the 1600s. It was made to add and subtract numbers automatically. So as you can see, this is the picture or figure of Blaise Pascal's Pascal machine, and it was a calculating device where you can see these wheels were used to calculate numbers. Next invention was Leibniz calculator, invented by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. This machine could do more advanced math like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now some more devices were made like this. This is your Leibniz computer. It was used to do so many calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now different engine and analytical engine. Charles Babbage designed the difference engine to help with complex maths problems. His next invention, the analytical engine, was even smarter. It could store information and make decisions. So as you all know, Charles Babbage is known as the father of modern computer because he designed a machine or device so that a complex problem can be solved through this device. So this was the device which was different and analytical engine. Tabulating machine. This early machine helped people count, organize and process data. It was an important step towards modern computing. So people started moving towards modern computation, and we have seen this device, tabulating machine. This was very organized and very processing data machine. Next is Mark I. During World War II, scientists created the Mark I computer. It helped solve difficult math problems and was used in military work. Now you can see this was Mark I. It was huge in size, and during World War it was used by scientists. Next is ENIAC. ENIAC was the first electronic brain. It was huge and used a lot of electricity, but it could do amazing things. So before ENIAC, most of the devices were not depend on electricity, but yes, this device was depend on electricity, and it was using a lot of electricity. As you can see the size of this computer, it was big in size so that it was using so much electricity to work. Now EDSAC was one of the first computer that could remember instructions and data. It was an early stored program computer. So these were your ADSEC computers. These were the first computer that can remember your instructions and your datas. Next is ADVAC. ADVAC was a computer that followed instructions step by step, similar to how modern computers run program. So I hope you have understood that ADVAC were the computers which were quite similar to modern computers. Now UNIVAC 1 was a powerful early computer that could handle many different tasks. It was even used to predict election results and weather forecasts. So some developments has already seen in the field of computer. As you can see, this is your UNIVAC 1 and it was very powerful early computer as it was used to predict election results and for weather forecasting. Now let's talk about generations of computer. First generation computer. The first generation of a computer was like the great grandparent of today's machine. These computers were extremely large and used vacuum tubes to operate. They needed entire rooms just to perform simple calculations. It's hard to imagine, but these were massive. Machines were the first step towards computing. So these were the ancestors of modern computers, and these were huge in size, so they were kept in big halls and big rooms, and they need a lot of energy or electricity. Next is second generation computer. As time went on, computers got smaller and faster. This second generation of computer used transistors instead of vacuum tubes. This made computers more efficient and easier to use. Now in second generation computers, the size were quite small. It reduced and their efficiency get faster. Third generation. The third generation of computers introduced integrated circuit, which made a computer even faster and more powerful. People could now use them all for all kinds of tasks, for calculations to creating documents. So these were the example of a third generation. First we used vacuum tubes, then we went to transistor, then we went to what? We went to integrated circuits. So these computers were faster than second generation computer. Now fourth generation computers had microprocessors which allowed them to do many tasks at once. They were powerful, super versatile and became a part of everyday life, helping us with work, play and learning. So these were your fourth generation computers, and this used microprocessors, and they were quite powerful and super versatile, and they were used by personal uses, and we used to play, work and learn in these computers. Now next, fifth generation computers can understand and respond to our voices, recognize patterns and learn from us. It's like having a smart friend who grows and learns with you. So these are your fifth generation computer. So you can see the size becomes smaller and they become very effective with the generation to generation. Now characteristics of a computer have some amazing features that make them super useful, as we can do so many tasks on computer. We can do painting, we can do drawing, we can type our document, we can watch movies and cartoons, and we can surf internet also. So first is speed. Computer works incredibly fast. They can do tasks in seconds that would take us hours. So computer can solve our problems in seconds. So next is accuracy. Computers are very accurate. They don't make mistakes in calculations. So as you see, which data you provide to the computer, they give you the result on that. They don't make any mistakes. Multitasking, just like you can juggle different tasks. Computers can do many things at the same time. It's like having multiple hands. So it is very difficult for us to do many tasks at a time, but computer can do many tasks at a time. We can do drawing, painting, and we can type our documents while listening songs. Storage, with their powerful memory, computer can store a huge amount of information for us. So it is very difficult for us to store so many data in our brain, but computer can store so many data. It's memory is very powerful. Now, memory reload Lebanese calculator created by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz was designed for arithmetic calculations. Charles Babbage, known as the father of computers, designed an early mechanical computer called the difference engine. ENIAC followed step-by-step instructions, much like following a recipe. ENIAC 1 could perform various tasks such as predicting elections and analyzing weather data. The first generation of computers used vacuum tubes and occupied entire rooms. The fourth generation introduced microprocessors, making computer a part of everyday life. Fifth generation computers can understand spoken commands, recognize patterns, and learn new things. Now let's come to check your learning. So first we have tick the correct options. Some questions are asked here. You have to just tick one answer for that, whether it is true or false. So first one is computers have existed since the beginning of time. It is false. Second, the computer was as large as an entire room. The first computer, yes, it was. So you will tick on true option. Third, the abacus is an ancient device used for performing calculations. Is it true or false? It is ancient machine. So you will write or you will tick true. The ideas of Charles Babbage helped the shape of development of a modern computer. Yes, it is true. Now, fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks, some words are given here. ENIAC was used for weather prediction and dash analysis. So it is your data analysis. Computers do not make mistakes. Computers can store huge amount of data for us. Write it true, T for true, N for false. An abacus is a counting device with beads. Yes, it is true. Pascal's adding machine is used to play music. No, it is false. Charles Babbage's dream of developing a machine that could calculate. Yes, it is true. The first generation computer was like a grandparent. Yes, it is true. Now answer the following questions. Some questions are given here. You have to answer them one by one. Lab activity. Create a computer timeline. Illustrate the different generations of computers on a large sheet of paper. Include images and descriptions for each generation, highlighting how computers have evolved over time. So you have to illustrate the different generation, like first generation, second generation. So you will write about them and you will illustrate, and you will find the difference between these generation of computers, and you can write them on your notebook, or you can present data on your chart. So children, I hope you understood whatever we have done in this session. Now you will revise the chapter, and yes, do not forget to practice the exercise.